What's up, HyperFast Nation? On this episode of the show, I sat down with the Vice President of Reminder Media. It's a company that is helping over 42,000 agents get more clients. He's also the host of the Stay Paid podcast. Welcome to the show, Luke Acree. All right, welcome to the podcast today, Luke. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about in terms of, real estate in general, staying in touch with your clients. So, a lot of just general marketing concepts as well. Before we do that, though, and there's going to be a ton of value, I know, why don't you give the listeners and viewers just a short bio on who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. I'll try not to bore people. I'll give you guys a 30,000-foot view. So, name's Luke Acree. I'm the president of a company called Reminder Media. So, I grew up actually homeschooled in a family of 8 kids. So, something that's really unique about me. Thought I was going to be a musician, like all musicians that are out there. Love a lot of times breaks up the band, and it broke up our band because I had a band with my brothers. Went on to a community college because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Started a business called Nextmark Design, which is my first kind of foray into business, marketing, all that good stuff. That was a web design business, doing graphics, web design for small businesses. My uncle at the time, a guy named Steve, he's my current partner in crime here at Reminder Media. He had started Reminder Media, which was traditionally a print shop about 18 years ago. And he had reached a point on his entrepreneurial journey where I think a lot of listeners can have camaraderie with, where it's a roller coaster, was a little burnt out, wasn't sure what he wanted to do. He convinced me to join forces with him about 11 years ago. And to shorten the story, man, God's blessed us over the past 11 years. We've had the privilege of working with about 100,000 small business owners, a majority real estate agents, with their marketing. And our specialties, we focus on touchpoint marketing, referral-based marketing, relationship marketing, maybe as you call it. But loving what I do. I have about 300 employees. We'll work with probably about 42,000 real estate agents this year. It's been an amazing ride.
Wow, that's a lot of real estate agents. What I remember when I first started out, you guys were one of the first external marketing companies I used with the print magazine. How has it evolved since then? It sounds like it's a lot more than just the monthly or bi-monthly print magazine that you'll.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more now,
for.
but it's still the customizable magazine is still our flagship. It's been really interesting because of the pandemic too, to see print come back with such a strong kind of comeback because people are stuck in their houses. QR codes are coming back at restaurants. We're just seeing a rise in print. The whole concept really for us is most businesses market with me-based marketing, meaning it's, here are my just listeds, here are my just solds, here, look at me and my accolades, all good things. But the reality is when the consumer receives it, if it doesn't hit them at the exact right time, where they're in the buying mode for whatever on that postcard or whatever you offer, they toss it, right? Whatever comes in, because it's more about you than it is about them. Our whole concept with the magazine was, what if we send clients something that's more perceived as a gift that is too nice to throw away, but fill it with content that they'll actually enjoy. And the whole idea came about of a magazine, and think like Better Homes and Garden or like a Forbes type magazine. We have 4 different magazines you can send now based upon what your clients like. We do it both print and digital. It truly is your magazine, so there's no other ads in there. It's filled with content that your clients will love. You can put your listings, you can put different things like that with the magazine. And then we do it both print and digital now. So, the whole idea is that you're on their coffee table, you're in their email inbox, you're on their social media. And the more they see you, the more they think about you, the more they think about you, the more they remember you, the more they remember you, the more they choose to use you, is the concept.
So what's the basic package? Like they get the magazine, they also get an email, and then you're retargeting them
Yep.
with ads as well? Or
So
what?
most of our
Describe
clients
each piece
sign
of
up
that.
for, yeah, most of our clients sign up for, hey, I want to send Luke something to my core clients. That would be like my past clients, my major advocates. They'll send, probably around 100 to 150 printed magazines to their core clients. Then they add on to that what we call as our digital bundle, which gives them their digital magazine, gives them a library of branded social media content that can be scheduled out on their social media pages. Also gives them what's really popular for us is we curate the local events that are happening in your community. So if you think of kind of like where you're at, we curate all the local events that are happening, clean them up, make them look great, put them in an email newsletter format and social media shareable format, brand it to you. And so our clients are signing up. They're getting 100 magazines. They're sending out the digital magazine to all their B, C list. And that package will cost you, a couple $100 a month, basically, about $150 a month, if you want to think about it that way.
Why do you think it was interesting when in the introduction, you said print has come back. Are people just at home more and they can read things more? Or why is print coming back?
I think being at home plays into it, but I think the real reason is if you think about marketing in general, psychologically, is you want to go where people, you can get attention, right? Where you can stand out. And so many people have gone to digital, and we believe in digital marketing. We do it, right? We also have a Facebook ad services now that we do. But there's so much noise now in digital. There's so many emails coming into people's inboxes. There's so many social media posts happening. And so you really have to have a earth-shattering kind of pattern interrupt to really get their attention digitally. Well, print, because it's gone down over time, guess what? There might be 60 emails coming into your inbox a day. There's only maybe 5 mailers coming into your mailbox. And so it's a lot easier to stand out. Then on top of that, if you think of like the style of marketing that we're going after specifically, we're going after relationship-based marketing. So we're not trying to reach the anonymous public. We're trying to reach your sphere who already has some type of acquaintance with you. There was actually a really neat study done by Temple University with the U.S. Postal Service, and they studied the effects of print marketing versus digital marketing. And they basically, studied things like they watched the eye movement, the memory recall of print versus digital, the impact, the physical impact. They actually put sensors on the people's hands and stuff like that. And what they found was print marketing is a lot more effective in creating impact because it has physical touch involved. People could recall print advertisement way more than they could recall digital advertisement. And it makes a lot of sense because when you get something like a note from a friend, like a personal handwritten note, you get a FedEx package or an Amazon package, you get something quality there, you're going to open it, you're going to pay attention to it. The same concept we have found kind of applies to our magazine. It's just so different. It's not just a piece of junk mail. It's kind of more like a gift. So I think that's really probably why we're seeing the rise in print is because it's just, hey, you got to go where there's not too much noise and where you can make impact. And print is a great way still to do it.
Do you think that will continue?
Until marketers until everybody fluxes back there and it gets overwhelmed again, and then it will go back to the next channel that maybe doesn't have as much noise. Like you look at a perfect example of this would be like, look at Instagram or Facebook. Look at Facebook. Facebook's organic reach now for your post are almost non-existent. If you have a business page, they are non-existent. That's why you're getting no likes, right, or no comments and stuff like that. Go to TikTok, and you're getting tons of organic reach on TikTok. So a little bit of it is that when you get too much noise, when you get too many users hitting the same thing, the effectiveness goes down a little bit. That's the reason why Steve and I, strategy-wise, have preached and will continue to preach. The fundamental of business is relationships. So if you want to build a massive business that lasts a lifetime, it's really about relationship marketing. And if you take it up one step higher to what the Fortune 500 companies do and what they talk about, it's called brand. You're trying to build a brand with your community, with your database, so they always think of you. They see you as the person of choice, or they see you as the company of choice. And that's where we focus with our marketing strategies, is really helping people do that.
Hey, hold that thought for a minute. Do you want to take your real estate business to the next level? If you do, there's no reason to go it alone. Learn from people who've been where you want to go. Carrie and I have sold billions of dollars in real estate. We've netted over 7 figures for 7 years in a row now, and we want to see if you would be a good fit to work for us. We don't work with a lot of people, but we want to give you a chance to get on a free strategy call to see if we can help you get your business to the next level. Go to hyperfastcoach.com and apply for your discovery session today. Again, that's hyperfastcoach.com.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting concept. Probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, print, direct mail, maybe it wasn't working as well, and then social media was, at least the organic side, and now those direct mail pieces are coming back more, working more. And you're definitely seeing on Instagram, on Facebook, LinkedIn, like organic is, it's like 5%, every post you do on Facebook, like 5% of your followers, if you're lucky, will see it. And then, on the other hand, on TikTok, it can be like 500% of your followers is the amount of people that will see it. Like if you've got, 1,000 followers, you could easily do a post that gets 20,000 views or more.
Yep.
Are you guys is Reminder Media doing anything specifically on TikTok, since you brought up that platform?
Yeah, so we are, for ourselves, so we have a podcast called Stay Paid, so you could check out our Stay Paid podcast on TikTok. We just started not too long ago, and we had, a couple videos take off where, that built up our following. And then from there, we're seeing a lot better organic reach on TikTok than we are on like Facebook or something like that. Just like anything, like the secret with social is try to use the features that they just release, because they're naturally promoting those features. That's why, advice-wise to people, you should be using Reels on Instagram. Why? Because Instagram is trying to go head-to-head with TikTok. They want their Reels to be popular, so they're way more likely to promote your Reels than they are to promote your just photo post or stuff like that. So, we're trying to, at least for ourselves, stay up with, hey, where is the traffic? Where's the organicness of that? And then we do a ton of paid marketing on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, because I still think those are valuable platforms. We just released an ad services on Facebook for our clients where we're running Facebook ads for them and getting $5 leads. Now they're converting 1 to 3%. So those are pretty normal numbers there, but you can still make a killing. My brother, I did it for him. We generated 1,000 plus leads for him last year. He spent a little under 18 grand and generated $107,000 in commissions from that. And that's just in that year, let alone the exponential growth of those leads over time, because now you have 1,000 people, only 15 bought. You can nurture the other 985 for the rest of time, and that will just grow to where your return on ad spend is going to be incredible. So I still believe in the others. The others are just not as organic anymore.
Right, and I guess that's just something you have to kind of stay on top of. Like, where are the eyeballs that you can get for free? Where are the eyeballs that you can get by
I would
for?
advocate. I would say, or pay someone, to do it, like myself.
Right.
But the point I'm trying to make there is not obviously shameless plug for myself, but this is one of the fundamentals of business. You and I were talking about this even in your business before we got on. Leverage. It's like what your job is as a business owner is to do the activities that only you can do that drive the most revenue, and try your best to delegate every single other activity, if you can afford to somebody else who's better than you at it, or it's not worth your time. And I think a lot of people fall into the trap where they don't realize, like, hey, look, if you let go, you can go further. If you let go and you focus on the activities that will produce revenue for you. And I think a lot of people just don't do that.
Interesting. Are you guys focused more, just because the name, the Reminder Media, is it, and at least from what I remember when, in your earlier stages, it was about getting in front of people that were already your clients. Is that still the main focus, or is it a bigger audience, or a mix of both, or what's the balance there in the service you provide to agents between, new relationships and old ones?
Yeah, I think, so we've expanded to where we want to help you generate, nurture, and ultimately acquire new customers, and then obviously follow up with them to get referrals. So it's expanded to be a bigger platform. We have traditionally been, and I believe we're the best in the world at, helping you generate referrals out of your database. So if you are looking to mine your database, which historically is where most business comes from, we have a myriad of programs and tools and ways to help you do that and strategies. But we have expanded kind of our platform, because we've been doing this a long time, to now we have lead generation. We do farming. So we have different farming programs with postcards, or you can use our Facebook ad services. So we've expanded from that route. So it really depends on where you're at in your business. We try to take a consultative type sell of, hey, where are you at in your business? What is the pain point right now that you're trying to overcome? Is it, your lead generation? Are you not getting enough leads? Do you have a lot of leads, but you're not nurturing them effectively? Do you have a database of past clients that you should be getting 2 to 3 referrals out of each of them a year, but you're not? Let us help you in those categories and kind of teach you what other agents are doing to have success with this, knowing that the fundamental is there's no magic formula. But what we want to help you do is do what? We want to help you have conversations with your database, with the people that you have in your funnels, because the more times you can have conversations with them, the more opportunity will arise. But most agents fall down because they don't know when to contact their clients. They don't know how many times to do it. They don't know what to say when they get on the phone. And so we're trying to help smooth that for them and automate that for them in their business.
Interesting. What do you think the biggest struggle that real estate agents is, when it comes to staying in touch with past clients? Because I agree with you. That's for most agents, that should be at least your number one lead source. But I feel like a lot of real estate agents get distracted by other things and don't focus on that for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to kind of wrap it into like one biggest struggle. If I could classify it, I would say this. I think the big struggle is agents live in instant gratification mode and getting the next transaction mode. So naturally that keeps them from doing activities that are longer term activities. So, nurturing your past client for a referral that you just sold 2 months ago, it's not an instant gratification, because if I sold you a home, Dan, 2 months ago, you're not going to be moving for another 7 years, maybe 11 years. Yes, you might know somebody, but my brain doesn't naturally go to you. So even though I want to keep in touch with you and I want to nurture you, I'm now chasing the next deal. And that's what I think most agents, they get caught up in, and that's why they're on a hamster wheel. Instead of realizing, okay, I need to set up a nurture campaign that keeps me top of mind passively. So that might be email, that might be social, that might be print, right? You might have a drip campaign going up, but that's not enough. What is the thing that's really going to take it to the next level? And every coach in the business is going to tell you this, is that you want a passive marketing campaign that can lead you to active or proactive marketing. So what's the difference? Passive is you're getting in front of them with some physical touch point, some digital touch point. They see your brand, you're giving them value. Proactive is you are getting on the phone with them, you are getting face-to-face with them, you are having a conversation. And so when we teach our agents, man, our top producers, they're sending out this magazine every 2 months to their clients. And guess what? Every quarter, they're picking up the phone. They're using the magazine as their reason to call. They're calling Dan up and saying, hey, Dan, was thinking about you today, man. I just got my latest issue of Good to Be Home magazine. I know I'm sending it to you as a gift. Hey, wanted to check in and see how you're doing. How's the family? They then have that reason to call that's non-salesy. It builds the relationship. They check in with their database member. And then they do what they do best, which is now they can turn the conversation with, hey, Dan, love being your real estate agent. You know, really have a lofty goal for my business this year. Would love to help 25 families find their dream home. Love to have more clients like you. Do you know anybody that you could connect me with? I'd love to send them my magazine just as a way. Maybe they're not looking to buy today, but I'd love to be of value to them. Is there anybody you can connect me with? National Association of Realtors says the average person knows 2 to 3 people a year that need a real estate agent. So if you send this to 50 people, you have a potential of 150 opportunities out there, but you need a reason to pick up that phone and call. This magazine gives you that reason. That's the whole premise of our Touchpoint campaigns is how do I help you have a conversation? Because if I can help you have a conversation, you can turn that conversation into a deal.
Hey, hold that thought. Do you want to get 100 tips for free from my best-selling real estate book, The Hyperlocal HyperFast Real Estate Agent? If you do, go to hyperfasttips.com and you can download 100 of my best tips today. Again, that's hyperfasttips.com. You can download 100 tips on how to grow your business, get more clients, deliver more value to more people. Go to hyperfasttips.com.
What's the data? Do you have like data on how agents do prior to using you guys compared to after, you know, in terms of, re-engaging their clients, referrals?
Yeah, we have case studies that we've done on agents, but on a broader scale, I don't have like specific an agent that uses us increases by this amount. What we did is we hired a firm called GFK, and we have them do this every year and a half. They're about to actually do the next one. But basically, they go in and they are a media research firm. They're one of the largest in the world. They try to get analytics and try to get data on how the magazine is perceived and how the magazine is affecting business. And here's what they found in their last survey. They found that the average consumer is holding on to the magazine for about 4 weeks in their home. The average read time, like FaceTime with the magazine, is around 44 minutes. So anybody in the branding world knows, holy crap, 44 minutes, that's crazy. And it's because it's sitting on the coffee table, the bedside table, the restroom. So they're getting 44 minutes of branding time. They found that the average referral rate was 58%. And what they say here is that they went in and they asked the recipients, right, of the magazine, have you referred your business professional who sends you this magazine in the last 12 months? And 58% said yes. What I tell people all the time is, look, the stats are great, right? And I know they work, and we have testimonials. We've been doing this for 18 years, that type of idea. The real key here, though, is that this shows you beyond a shadow of a doubt there's gold in your database. There's gold, and there's people who want to refer you, but you have to have what I like to call our triggers in your marketing that trigger you to have those conversations. So we add it to our platform to help agents. We now analyze your mailing list. So your database, if you upload it to our system, we analyze it using big data to try to predict who's most likely to list in the next 6 months. So we're analyzing, you've probably seen these likely to move algorithms out there. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not, but we're analyzing your database based upon thousands of data points of public record and based upon correlations in the data, trying to predict, is Luke Acree likely to move? And then serving that up to you. It's something free included in the subscription. Serving that up to you because the whole purpose is, hey, Dan is doing things that might be likely for him to list his home. Give Dan a call. Shoot Dan a text message. Send Dan your magazine. And you can upload as many people as you want into our system to analyze them and see if they're likely to move. So it's all about to us going, how do we give you that slight edge that gets you first in the mind of the client or the mind of the consumer?
Yeah, I love, I love that, everything you just said. I think staying having this way to stay in front of clients in a non-threatening way, and then expand that to their friends, it just makes a lot of sense. And if you're an agent and you're not doing that, whether you do it with someone like Luke and his company, like, you need to start figuring out a way to do it, or you're leaving a lot of business on the table, and probably spending a lot of time and money chasing other business that's harder to get. Am I right in that?
No, you're so right. And I'll back that up with, I always tell people this when I'm training or speaking at these conferences. I said, don't take Luke's word for it, Reminder Media, anything like that. Look at the data, right? What does the data say? Like, if I get into any business and I go, hey, I want to get more consumers, I want to go, well, where are they coming from? Where are other people getting transactions? If you look at the National Association of Realtors data, in their 2021 home buyer and seller profile, they sourced back, where did the majority of listings come from in 2021? When sellers chose their agent, where did they come from? Well, 68% of all selling transactions found their agent through referral and repeat business. So what does that tell you? If you're a gambling person, I'm not a gambling person, but if you're a gambling person, where are you going to put your money down? Are you going to put your money down on a marketing strategy that goes after where 68% of transactions come from? Or are you going to spend your money on a place where the rest of the transactions come from? So there's a data game there. Another stat that's mind-boggling to me is 82% of consumers choose the first agent they interview. 82% was the latest stat coming out for that. So to me, that tells me, man, if you're not first, you're last. So the game is really, how do you get first in the door? How do you get first to the interview? Because if you can get there, you have an 82% chance of being chosen. You don't even have to be that good probably in the listing presentation.
I mean, you should, but you're absolutely right. Like,
but it's like, who is it? I think Grant Cardone said it really well, right? The guy's a marketing genius, no matter what people think of him. He's a marketing genius, and he said this for years. Look, you don't have to be the best. You have to be the most known. Starbucks doesn't have the best coffee. They're just on every street corner, right? It's like, you as an agent, how do you make sure when people wake up today and they think real estate, they think of you? There's only really one way to do that, and that's through frequency, getting in front of them, impact, meaning making impact with them, and then trust, building trust, that they see you as the agent of trust, the person who is the subject matter expert in your industry, that if they need help with this industry, they're going to you because they trust you. So that's really the name of the game, and there's a myriad of ways you can do it, but it's all about consistency, day in and day out.
Well, Luke, this has been amazing. I think what you offer through Reminder Media and then the podcast are just a lot of great information, great tools for agents to implement. Before we wrap up, I always like to do a HyperFast round if you're ready for some rapid fire questions and answers.
Let's do it, brother.
All right, what's your biggest piece of advice to a new real estate agent?
Get a coach or a mentor. They can speed up your time to getting successful. It will be well worth the money you spend or commissions you give if you join a team.
What is your biggest piece of advice to an experienced real estate agent?
Biggest piece of advice for experienced agent is leverage. You need leverage in your business. Do, document, delegate. Follow that process. Do it, document it, and then delegate it.
What is the biggest mistake you see experienced real estate agents making?
They focus on the transaction, not the relationship.
All right. What's something you're doing right now in your business that wasn't even on your radar screen a year or two ago?
Ooh, great one. So something I'm doing now that wasn't on my radar screen. I would say probably the biggest thing I'm doing now is I'm focusing way more on branding than I ever did before. So what does that look like for me? I wasn't going to real estate conferences, insurance conferences. I'm going to over 80 conferences this year, and every conference costs me a lot of money, right, to get to and send people to. Because branding, I'm realizing that really is the name of the game. Direct response is amazing, but branding is where the big Fortune 500 companies are. And so how do I build a brand where people think marketing, they think Reminder Media?
All right, last one. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Well, I'm hoping with over 250,000 clients, hopefully over 150 million in revenue, and then personally for myself, I'm hoping that I will be with my beautiful daughter and beautiful wife, living half in PA and half maybe in some beach town in Florida or something like that.
All right, Luke, thanks for being on the show today. If people want to connect with you, learn more about your company, the podcast, how should they do all that good stuff?
Yeah, would love to connect with all of you guys on social. So my handles are at Luke Acree, probably the most active on Instagram. The podcast is called Stay Paid Podcast. We interview the best of the best. We actually had Dan on our show, so you're not going to want to miss that episode. So would love for you guys to check out Stay Paid Podcast at staypaidpodcast.com. And then, of course, if you're interested in us helping you with your marketing, you can find everything you need to know if you go to remindermedia.com.
All right. Well, check out remindermedia.com, the Stay Paid Podcast. And thank you for being on the show today, Luke. To all of our listeners and viewers, thank you for tuning in. Please leave us some feedback in the comments and share this episode with other people that you think need to see it or listen to it. We'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure and go to hyperfastagent.com to learn about upcoming in-person and online events. And don't forget to share this show with someone that you think could benefit from hearing it, and make sure you subscribe on YouTube or anywhere that you can find podcasts.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the HyperFast Show. Subscribe to us if you want to make sure you get the latest and greatest HyperFast shows. And remember, we love reviews. Reviews help us bring better and better guests and improve our shows. So give us the good, the bad, and the ugly. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.
Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end. I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you want to see more, click right here. And if you want 100 real estate tips from my best-selling book, click right here to download them instantly. And if you're new to this channel, click below to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out. And leave some comments about what you think on the videos.